My name is Gus, and I'm addicted to Hoyas. Hello guys, welcome to another video, Gusty's Plants. And for this video, I wanna do my top 10 wish list Hoyas. These are Hoyas that I don't own, Hoyas that I don't have in my collection, but that I do plan to own throughout this entire 2021. If there's one thing you guys know about me, is that I love Hoyas and I love collecting Hoyas. And as opposed to a lot of other Hoya heads, Hoya collectors, I like Hoyas because of their flowers. I also like Hoyas because of their foliage and the different veining, the speckles, just the look of the foliage. But if I see a Hoya that has the same foliage as another Hoya that I already owned, the determining factor for me getting a Hoya over the other one is the flower. So if two Hoyas look the same, but one of them has a better flower than the other one, then I would take the one with the better flower. And this video will be my top 10 Hoyas that I wish I had, that I plan on working on having, on owning this year. And so without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Also, if you guys own any of the Hoyas that I'm gonna mention in this list, and you guys mind, maybe we could do a trade. Maybe I could give you some of the Hoyas that I own and you could give me one of the ones in my wish list if you have them. But anyway, so let's just go ahead and get started. I have 10 Hoyas here in my phone that I already collected over, I was doing research on Instagram and on, just Google Images, YouTube, and these are 10 Hoyas. My list will be based pretty much on flowers and the foliage and the size, because you guys know the bigger the better, they say. Alright guys, so here I go. I'm gonna start out with the first one, and this one is a Hoya that I've been wanting for a while now. I saw Doug Chamberlain made a video on this plant, and the minute I saw the leaves on this Hoya, I was impressed. This out of my whole list, this Hoya that I'm starting the video with is the one that I want. This Hoya, if I could have just one Hoya in this list, this is the one. And I'm talking about Hoya Campanolata. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. This Hoya comes in many different varieties. Short leaf, large leaf, thick. But guys, this Hoya, it's outstanding. If you look at the leaves look very dinosaur-esque, like if you're getting a plant from the dinosaur era, back when dinosaurs and Mr. Big Neck or whatever, T-Rex, if you could go back in time and get a plant from the dinosaurs era, this Hoya reminds me of that plant. It just, the look of the leaves are just crazy. It doesn't have amazing flowers, but the foliage, it's just like it looks scaly, kind of like a crocodile, kind of like a lizard, an iguana. And the shape of the leaves, and if you also give it a lot of sunlight or stress it enough, it does change color to like a purpley hue, and the veins start turning like a dark brown, almost black. And the contrast of the green leaves with the veining of the it's just amazing. And this is the one. I know that it's been a very slow grower for a lot of people that have it, or for the few people that have it. However, Unsolicited Plant Talks, she owns this plant and she got it from Doug Chamberlain, and for her it's growing crazy. So my thought is that I'm gonna send Unsolicited Plant Talks a message and see if she can actually sell me one of the cuttings that she has, because this is the one. This is the one Hoya that I really wish I had, but I don't. But I mean, comment down below if you guys like this Hoya, or also comment down below what Hoya is in your wish list. Another one that I have in my wish list is Hoya ERYTHRINA. Hoya ERYTHRINA, to me, it's one of those Hoyas that looks beautiful, sun-stressed and not sun-stressed. It also, once the leaves matured, they get like this curly, corky look to them. When they're little, they just look like a nice little chunky leaf, but when they start growing, they just grow massive, and they grow kind of like in a corky shape, And also the veining on this Hoya grows prominent, and you can also get it sun stressed. And when this Hoya gets sun stressed, it turns like a rosy red, pinky color. It's just amazing, and I absolutely love this plant. For some reason, this Hoya is not so there's two types of Hoya, Hoya erythrostema and then Hoya erythrina. However, I prefer Hoya erythrina. The flowers on this Hoya are also not too shabby, but just the Hoya alone, it's beautiful. And I really absolutely love this Hoya, because once the Hoya grows to a mature size and it starts growing those corky, you know, flimsy leaves with the veining, kind of like a karata imagery, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So Hoya Erythrina is in my top 10 wish list Hoyas that I plan on owning this 2021. This will be a fun, interesting video, because we can see together if I'm able to check off all of my Hoya wish list in this video throughout the year, because these Hoyas are not cheap and they're very kind of hard to come by. Another Hoya that I have on my wish list, this was one of the Hoyas that I ordered in my Asian plant export video, my fail. All of the Hoyas arrived dead except for one. However, this Hoya MEGALASTER was not one of them. It arrived dead to me, and ever since I haven't looked for it. I haven't searched on eBay or Etsy or anything. So just because I kind of hold a little grudge, not against the plant but against myself for buying a plant like that. So Hoya MEGALASTER, to me, it's gorgeous. It has giant leaves. The name has it, MEGALASTER. It also has amazing, gorgeous, like giant Hoya flowers. They look like claws, kind of like a reptilian claw. Beautiful flowers. But also something funny about this plant, about this Hoya, is that if you guys own Hoya Crinkle 8, you know how it has those little 8 little, you know, dividends in the Hoya, like those little like holes. Well, this Hoya MEGALASTER grows huge, and it has those little dividends, those little bumpy, scaly things in the Hoya leaf, and that's beautiful. It grows astronomically large leaves, and you can imagine the astronomical, giant, mega flowers that this Hoya produces. I don't believe this Hoya produces like fragrant flowers. It just produces very shiny, glossy leaves that are just mind-blowing, perfect. And then the claw-shaped flowers on this plant, like I just keep going like this. That's my image when I hear the MEGALASTER flower. I just think of a claw. Yeah, it's beautiful. The leaves are shiny, glossy, very like crinkle 8-ish type of thing. So yeah, Hoya MEGALASTER, it's in my wish list for 2021. Alright guys, another Hoya that I have in my wish list is Hoya CYSTIANTHA, aka Hoya Campanolata. This Hoya was the one that really kind of got me started with the Hoya flowers and how they look, let alone the foliage. This Hoya Campanolata, in Spanish, campana means bell. So Campanolata, you can imagine the flower shape of this Hoya. They're like little bells, like a dinko bell. They're white little flowers, and they open up just like a little candle, like a bell. And they're beautiful. They look astonishing. And one of my friends that I follow on Instagram, I think her name is, oh, I forgot her name. I had it in my mind right now. I had it in the tip of my tongue, but I forgot. I'll leave her Instagram somewhere here on the video. But she has this plant, and I'm thinking of probably asking her if she could sell me a cutting of it, because she has a massive one. So yeah, Hoya Campanolata, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and the leaves are not that impressive, to be honest. They're splashy leaves, thin, kind of like a multiflora imperialis sort of thing, you know, big leaves, but they're thin. And just to me, this Hoya looks beautiful because of the flowers. The flowers are just outstanding flowers, and I absolutely love Hoyas because of their flowers. And yeah, this is a plant that I really want to have. It kind of seems more like a terrestrial Hoya, in the sense that it's not so much humidity loving or epiphytic. I think to me it's more like a terrestrial Hoya that just likes to actually grow in soil, in the ground, as opposed to like in tree trunks. So this Hoya could be a little bit hard to take care of. That's why not a lot of people have it. But if you have it and you're able to make this Hoya grow and flower, I think you will also fall in love with it. Okay guys, another one that I have is Hoya Imbrikata. Hoya Imbrikata is known as the Hoya dumplings. You guessed it, because it looks like dumplings. So these Hoya, to me, it's amazing Hoya. It's very similar in foliage shape and pattern. Well, not shape, foliage pattern into as Hoya Campanulata, Hoya Undulata. You know how they're green and they have like those white specks in them, like flocky white specks? Well, Hoya Imbrikata has the same speckling and leaf color. However, Hoya Imbrikata can grow climbing up like on palm trees or like trees. And it could also grow just hanging like little dumplings. I have images that I'm going to insert here of how this Hoya grows. If you let it, you know, climb up on trees, regular Hoyas will just grow tendrils and use the tendrils to kind of like wrap herself around the bushes and the little tree trunks or tree branches. However, Hoya Imbrikata grows she actually attaches her own leaf to the surface of the trunk per se, and she actually just like grows leaves attached to the trunk. I'm not sure what kind of terminology this will be plants when talking about plants, but just know that this plant grows leaves like as if she's sucking the life out of like a tree, kind of like if you grow a pest in your Hoyas called scale. It kind of looks like scale, but it's not scale, it's like Hoya leaves. If you don't have a big trunk for the Hoya to climb, it will just grow tendrils, and the Hoya's leaves will look like little closed dumplings, like little taco shells just dangling around. And that's why I like this plant. It also grows very funky, quirky little flower leaves, very hairy and pointy. So yeah, I really like this Hoya, and I just like it because it's a weird type of Hoya. It's not like a common Hoya that just grows tendrils. This one actually can attach her whole entire leaf to the object that it wants to climb on. So I think that's why I have it in my list, and because it's because I like Chinese food and because I like dumplings. Another one that I have here in my list, it's Hoya Michelle. This one is more easier to come by. I feel like if I could buy one of the Hoyas in this list, it'll probably be Hoya Michelle, because Hoya Michelle, to me, it's a very a very thick, robust, glossy, speckly Hoya leaf. It grows Hoya flowers, and it grows big giant Hoya leaves that are very glossy and shiny. Very similar to like a Hoya Ovovata and a Hoya Joy. Like if they had a baby, then you will get a Hoya Michelle. Yeah, not much to say about this plant. It's just that I've been wanting this plant for a while, but I just don't see myself paying such a high price for it. I wasn't gonna include it in this list, but I did because I'm not gonna lie to myself, this Hoya has amazing foliage. Not as amazing as the CLEMENSIORUM that I mentioned previously, the first Hoya in this video, but Hoya Michelle, I just like the name. I had a friend in middle school, her name was Michelle, and probably that's why I have a little liking for this Hoya, because he reminds me of my friend in middle school, and I had a terrible life in middle school. For me, middle school was probably my worst age. Like if I could skip a moment in my life, it would be those 3 years in middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Those were horrible. However, Michelle, my friend, was the one that actually made it a little better, and probably this is why I like Hoya Michelle. But not just that, Hoya Michelle is very nice and beautiful, very rounded leaves, very carnosa like, and yeah, that's why Hoya Michelle is on my list. Comment down below if you have any Hoya in your wish list that the name of the Hoya just makes it even so much better than it actually really is. Alright, so we're almost there, and the next one that I have, so I talked about big leaves and big flowers and glossy, you know, foliage. I'm gonna talk about Hoya Serpents. Now, Hoya Serpents is becoming more readily accessible now. It's easy to find at Etsy or eBay. However, the price that they're charged for it is ridiculous. I would not spend over $60–50 for a Hoya Serpents. I've been tempted to. However, to me, Hoya Serpents is beautiful and gorgeous, but it's overpriced. Nonetheless, that doesn't take it away off my wish list. To me, it looks very dainty and little, and it kind of looks like, you know, when you're outside and your skin just you know, gets chicken skin because it's so cold that, you know, your skin just kind of like shrivels up and you get those little chicken skin dots in your skin and your arms. Well, that texture this Hoya Serpents has. It has the most dainty little Hoya leaves, and especially when they're growing, they're very tiny and minuscule. But they have those little prominent little dots in each leaf, and you touch it and it's textured. I've actually seen one in real life, and it was beautiful. However, it wasn't for sale. It was just like on display, and I that's when I started my love for it. Before even knowing about Hoya Matilde, I knew about Hoya Serpents. Later on, I learned about Hoya Serpents, and through Hoya Serpents is that I had Hoya Matilde, because Hoya Matilde is a cross between Hoya Carnosa and Hoya Serpents. And but anyways, Hoya Serpents, to me, it's just beautiful because it's so little and so tiny, and just when you have it growing. And also what makes this Hoya very interesting is the flowers. So the Hoya is very little, but the flowers on this Hoya they're massive. So imagine having owning this little Hoya Serpents and having it grow up peduncles twice or triple the size of the actual flower, of the actual leaf. Like, that's just insane. And I heard that it's very the scent of this Hoya is not the best. However, I don't mind that as long as I can have Hoya Serpents and flower. That's the best for me. We are down to the final three, and I'm gonna leave one of these for last because I have something special about it. Let me go with Hoya Infilata. Hoya Infilata is very similar to Hoya Campanolata, but if you speak Spanish, Hoya Infilata, what does Infilata kind of remind you of? It may be in Spanish and English too. So inflar means like blow, like picture blowing a balloon. That's what inflar means. So Hoya Infilata grows balloon-shaped Hoya flowers. Like, it's crazy. It grows massive, giant, like balloon-shaped flowers. I've never seen them in real life. I've seen anyone that I follow on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube talk about it to describe the scent. But I'm thinking that this Hoya is very difficult to flower. But the flowers on this is what really attracts me to it. And I've never seen a Hoya grow balloons as flowers. Like, can you believe that? It's crazy. It kind of looks like those Chinese lanterns, you know, the ones that light up at night and you just let them go in the sky and contaminate the whole world. Well, this Hoya kind of looks like that. However, you're not contaminating the whole world. You're just actually making a plant happy and the ecosystem positive. Hoya Infilata, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. The leaves are very terrestrial-like, very I'm gonna say it again, kind of like a multiflora, very thin leaves, very nice green color to them, a little bit of speckles and veining. But what makes this plant beautiful is the flowers. And I know that a lot of people don't like Hoya because of the flowers, because it's very hard to make them flower. As a fact, it's a sad thing here, but let me show you guys. So I had a Hoya Bitalinoides, and I even posted a picture about this Hoya in my Instagram. And this is what I have left of my Hoya Bitalinoides. This just one leaf. When I took a picture of it and I put it on my Instagram, 2 weeks after, or not even 2 weeks, the same week, 2 leaves turned yellow and fell off. And I was so scared that I was gonna lose this Hoya. It even had a peduncle and it lost a peduncle. It lost a peduncle, and I am very sad because this Hoya I was really happy and lucky to have. I got this Hoya for $45. It had 3 giant leaves, like, see, it's huge, and I lost it. I only have this, and it needs water, but for some reason this Hoya just started dying on me, and I don't know why. It just died, and I'm very devastated because I was very looking forward for having that plant flower for me this spring, and now it has no peduncle. Okay guys, so I have 2 Hoyas left here. Let me go with Hoya SP PNG SV432. It's one of those Hoyas that has a weird name, and I don't like Hoyas that have a weird name because to me they feel like if they're man-made. This Hoya, when I tell you that the size of these Hoya leaves are amazing, They're amazing. Like, picture a Hoya, or picture a, you know, those Taro plants, like the elephant ears. Well, this Hoya is like the Hoya version of a Hoya or of a elephant plant. It grows massive, huge in diameter, perimeter, circumference. The leaves are, oh my god, they're amazing. They're like on steroids. If you have Hoya glabra, picture a Hoya glabra 10 times the size in a leaf, and you have Hoya SP and PNG SB 430. Beautiful Hoya, guys. And I have never seen anyone own this Hoya. The only person that has this Hoya is Unsolicited Plant Talks April. She has such a wide collection of plants or Hoyas. However, her prices are very expensive, which is why a lot of these plants are on my wish list, and I don't have them because I don't see myself spending so much for a Hoya plant. It's just crazy. But Hoya is PNG 430 PNG or GNC vitamin powder or whatever. It's beautiful, and you guys, if you guys have it, drop me a comment down below because I want it. The last plant that I have here, the last Hoya in this video, will be Hoya Hypolasia. Hoya Hypolasia, the name, it's phenomenal, and this is the last Hoya in my video. Also, if you made it to the end of this video, to my Hoya Hypolasia, comment down below Hoya Hypolasia, just so that I know you made it all the way through the video. And also comment down the emoji of a little bell, like a bell or like a little Chinese money tree, so that I know that you made it all over here. But anyways, Hoya Hypolasia, guys. Hoya Hypolasia, it's a fussy leaf baby. Oh, this Hoya, when it grows new leaves, it grows them so full of fur, like very hairy, and like little, it looks like a little teddy bear. And then once the plant matures, it just loses all the fur, and it just looks like a giant, you know, like stick. This Hoya grows very rare finicky plant leaves. I have a plant called Hoya Revolubilis. It grows like a stick, kind of like spatula shaping leaves. And so Hoya Hypolasia grows similar leaves to my Hoya Revolubilis. However, these are more thin and more dark green. And when, like I said, when they're new, they grow so furry, kind of like a Hoya Thompsonii. Just imagine a very furry Hoya from a little tendril growing, and it being so furry and hairy, and it stays hairy and furry for a very long time. It's amazing. This Hoya, I would not mind if it doesn't flower for me. Just the foliage alone, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, it's just, oh my god. They're so expensive though. Just thinking of the price just makes my bank account cry a little bit. But yeah, Hoya Hypolasia. Alright guys, so I'm gonna end the video here. If you guys like my top 10 wish list Hoyas I wish I had, comment down below, and don't forget to comment down below Hoya Hypolasia and a little bell, so that I know you watched the video all the way to now. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. I do want to give a shout out to Cynthia Stainborn. She always comments on my videos and she always watches, and so I appreciate you. And I also want to thank Newman, because he actually uses the hashtag GustisPlants, and he actually uses it on Instagram. So Newman, thank you so much for the support, and I really appreciate that. But anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and don't forget to drink water your plants, okay? Kapun karigato gozaimashita.